Hi fam, back with another video today because why not? This one's actually gonna be for my girly pops with cycles because I have been working with my cycle for probably more intuitively since 2019 was when I went off the pill. And I feel like as women, we are not taught to how to work with our cycle. We're not taught to really like how to navigate like different phases of our cycle and all those different things. And I have been feeling the pull over the last couple of years to really just dive more into this with women because I realized that obviously we're not taught it in school as much as we should, right? Like most of us use a tracking app or we use our calendar or whatever the case is. Some of us track by the moon, things like that. And some of this might be so completely fucking foreign to you that you're like, Linz, what the fuck are you talking about? Like what are you talking about? So we're gonna talk about all the things today because I was just standing here and I was getting ready to do my Qigong and I was like, oh, nope, another message that wants to come out, and talking about cycles is part of that. And I have felt really called to doing womb work and sacral work and just different things over the last few years that have really just sparked my interest in like going deeper into this journey. And I want to help other people get in touch with their sacral chakra and get in touch with their cycle and all these things, because so much beauty has come from it, honestly. Like my journey basically is that when I was 15 and started having sex, I went on the pill. I was on the pill until 2019 and I was 28, I think. 27, something like that. 27, 28, basically. And when I went off the pill, everyone's like, oh, you're gonna rebound, this and that. Honestly, my cycle returned immediately. Like, didn't skip a beat. There was quite a few reasons why I went off the pill, but I was married at the time. I was like, I just don't want to be on the pill anymore. Like, it's not really, like, I also was like, I can't remember. I think at that point, I can't remember exactly, but at one point, like my doc was like, just take 3 weeks and then start taking a new pack so that you don't get a period. What? Okay, sweet. Fucking love that for me. So that's what I did for, I don't know how, I can't even tell you how long. And I was having problems with cysts and all these things. And anyways, in 2019, went off the pill. I was also at a place where like with my other medications for my autoimmune, I was just like, I want to be off, like, I want to be off my birth control. Anyways, long story short, my period came back. I had acne, like my rebound was really in my like skin area, because all my hormones were shifting and whatnot. And then a year later, like almost to the date, I got pregnant. And I had been tracking my cycles and like knew when I was ovulating. It was just the perfect storm of like, totally forgot that I was ovulating. And we don't need to go into all the details, right? Because we all know how that happens. And anyways, I ended up getting pregnant. Fast forward a couple of months, I decided I wanted to get divorced. When I got divorced, I was like, I should probably go back on the pill, like just in case. Like, I went back on for 2 months and I was like, absolutely fucking not. It was so bad. I was depressed. I was overeating. I was kind of mentally and emotionally fucked, to be completely honest, and physically, honestly. It wasn't doing anything for me. And they were also telling me that the docs were saying like, this is how you like keep your, this is how you like avoid cysts and stuff like that. I'm like, don't think you're right. Anyways, fast forward, I ended up getting a cyst later that year and it took me down, but really that was, if we look at the root cause of that, that was leftover trauma from the abortion that I had the year prior when I was pregnant. And so I've had a lot of stuff with my sacral, and mind you, I haven't had a cyst since that one, to my knowledge. And that was in 2021. have not been on birth control since 2021. And I was on it for like 2 months and then I went off. I was just like, can't do this. And in fact, when I had that cyst, the docs wanted to put me on Depo. And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. They're like, well, the only way that you're not going to have cysts is if you take birth control. And I was just like, what fucking world am I living in? Like, no, thank you. I don't want to be on anything in general. And I'm not at this point. Like, I'm not on anything. I don't take anything. Like, it's great. Anyways, my whole point, right? And you might resonate with a similar journey of all of this. Back in 2022, 2023, I started doing different holistic practices in order to kind of regulate my hormones. And if you look for Qigong for hormone balancing, it's listed on my YouTube here, if this is where you're watching me. It's a great practice. It's one that my acupuncturist had given me when I was living in Colorado. And honestly, he gave it to me for a different reason than what it was initially meant for, because we were working on my GI stuff at the time. But I started doing it every day and I started to not have cramps anymore. My periods were lighter. They weren't like they used to be. And not that I was ever someone who had awful periods, but like I know when I'm like shedding something big because my period will kick up, right? And in the last year of me working with my cycle more and understanding, like, I really do, because I've done moon cycling, which is where you can like take supplements, and with the moon, that can sync up. Or you can do seed cycling, very similar, but you do it by your period, if you will. There's so many different ways that you can go about doing this, and I'm happy to make more videos about this if people are interested. But for the sake of this video, like, I really want to talk about energy and how, you know, because I don't typically get a lot of cramps anymore, but like I was standing here getting ready to do my Qigong practice. I noticed I was a little crampy and I was like, that's interesting. And what I've noticed is that a lot of times when I'm getting crampy, it's because there's energy that is stagnant, right? Blood flow that might be stagnant that needs to move. And so, yes, I will get to my Qigong practice, but I was like, oh, we can like move this within our system, right? And I tried this with a friend recently who was also having a really rough period, and I was going to do some energy work on her. And I'm like, while I'm doing the energy work, I want you to picture this visual, and I want you to just keep playing it over and over in your head. And by the time we got off the call, she didn't have cramps anymore. And she felt so much better. She felt lighter. And yes, obviously I was doing energy work on her, but like, I don't want to gatekeep this stuff, guys, because like there are so many people I know that have such terrible fucking periods, and I'm just like, oh God, like people that can't get out of bed. And I'm like, what? But it's all stagnant energy, right? And so if you are having cramps, you can literally visualize. It's kind of hard to see because I'm like, how far back can I go? Let's see if I can readjust this. Can you do it there? Yeah. So my little womb space is down here, but I like to picture a like ring, if you will, like a golden ring, or however you want to picture it. And I picture it going from my heart, circulating down to my womb and up. So just a big circle between my heart and my womb space to get the blood flowing, right? And I just keep picturing that, and I picture it, and I just picture the energy just moving through my womb space, moving back up to my heart, cleansing, going back through my womb space, coming back up. And then the other one that I also like to do is like the front. You can do it sideways or you could do it front, where it like comes through your heart, goes down through your womb, comes up through the back side of, out the back of your womb, into the back side of your heart, right? Because from the back side of our heart is where we receive, we give from the front, receive from the back. And doing this visual, right, has helped me to move the energy and to move the blood flow, especially like talking, like whether it's on video or voice note or whatever, like some sort of expression. Also, because our sacral, fun fact, if you look at the anatomy of the vagina, it is the same as the anatomy of the throat. You can look for pictures online. I'm not going to input it here. You can do that yourself if you're curious about it. It's literally the same anatomy for both. Your womb and your throat are directly correlated. So if you are having womb issues, your throat likely also might have an imbalance or is closed off. Fun fact. And one versus the other, right? And so a lot of times when I have cramps, I'm like, ooh, okay, what wants to like come through? And I've found that if I'm creative or if I need to say something, there's something that creatively wants to be expressed through me, once I start moving that energy, my cramps start to go away because I'm moving that stagnant energy that's like asking for somewhere to go. Your womb is your literal, it's the void space. It is the place of manifestation and creation, right? And when you can creatively express, right, you're pulling it up through your chakras and expressing it to the world, no matter what that looks like. Painting, drawing, speaking, dancing, talking on video. Like there's so many different ways. But so many of us get so stuck in the, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. We just keep the loop going. So yes, you're going to keep being in pain if you keep thinking you're in pain, right? I say a prayer over my womb space before every period. And also, fun fact, you can muscle test and probably tell when you're going to get your period. Mine is always on. And muscle testing, I don't know if I've included it in any other video, but basically what you do is you stand with your feet shoulder width apart. I'm trying to figure out how I should do this. And then you ask your body, most people, yes is forward, no is back. Not everybody though. So you have to ask your body yourself. This is how you connect with your intuition, right? So body, show me a yes. Cool, thank you. Show me a no. Cool, thank you. You can literally use this with everything in your life. Like, do I need water right now? No. Okay, cool. Thank you. Like, you can do it for food. You can do it for meds. You can literally do it for everything. But that is the way to connect to your intuition. Your intuition is directly correlated with your womb. It's all intertwined. And where was I going with that? I was like with the muscle testing. Oh, you can muscle test for when you're going to get your period. Like, is my period going to end today? No, clearly. I'm on like day 2 or 3. Is my period going to end tomorrow? Cool. Sweet. Love that for me. So you can do that. And then I usually will say a prayer over my womb space. And I'm like, thank you, body, for my period. Thank you for my pain-free period. Thank you for my light bleeding. Thank you for the shedding. Thank you. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. And sending love to my ovaries and my womb space. And you can picture that as a color. Sometimes I picture it as pink, sparkly liquid that's just infusing in there all that love, right? Because love heals all. There's so many different ways that you can go about doing this, but these are just my little tidbits that I've learned along the way, because so many of us are taught to not be in tune with our cycles. And when we're not in tune with our cycles, it just really, like, it's unfortunate, honestly. Like, it's really unfortunate how many people are not in tune with their cycles. And it's like, I don't want to say doing a disservice, but like when you can get in touch with your cycle, it just gives you so much more, like, I realize how much more power I have. Like I've realized my power through my cycle. And also we have 4 different weeks, right? We have our inner spring, which is the first week after our period. Man, I'm so activated right now. This is wild. Inner spring. Then we have our inner summer, which is our ovulation week. Luteal's inner fall, and then inner winter is our period, right? And something that I've been playing with and also just noticing in my life, the cycles with which I move through, you can literally plan your life via your cycle, right? So today, I am recording a lot. I will probably be expressing a lot. I might create some stuff. Like, I used my period time as rest time, but I also use it as a way to creatively express and shed whatever is wanting to come through. And honestly, my ovulation week usually and my period week are my 2 like big weeks, if you will. And my period doesn't last a full week. It's only a couple days, but like typically those are like my go in terms of like I'm creating things, right? Mostly my period week is like resting and creating. Like that is what I am doing. my spring, my inner spring is usually like my ramp up. Things are like feeling good, right? Like things are moving, maybe getting some client calls, things like that. Like things are happening. Same thing with my inner summer. Inner fall is just kind of like a little dip where I'm just like, ooh, okay. Kind of feels like when you come down off a roller coaster. In a good way, some people are like, oh my God, luteal is terrible. And it's like, when you get to know your body, like it's only terrible if you make it terrible, right? Like anything is bad if we make it bad. It doesn't have to be bad, right? You just have to work your verbiage and learn how to work with it instead of against it, right? And I've noticed that universally, if you will, like when I first got here was right after I had had my period. And so I was like on the come up, right? When I got to Oregon. The first 2 weeks I was here, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome, right? And then all of a sudden, this last week, I hit a fucking wall. Luteal, right? And I was called inward. I was called to rest. I was called to reflect. I didn't have my period just yet, but my body was prepping for it. It was giving me space. And then now I get my period. And yes, I want to rest, but I have a lot of energy right now for having my period. Like, I feel really good. And I love that for me. But I also am like using it in a purposeful way. Like I'm using the energy to move however it's meant to. Or however it wants to, I should say. And so anyways, with all that being said, so just maybe try next time you have your period or getting your period, or you want to play with your cycle or anything like that. Like you can track it by the moon. You can track it on a tracker. There's so many different things. I could go on and on and on for eons about this. I love talking about this stuff because I think it's so important. The other thing I want to mention too is if you are craving orange things while you're on your period, it's to support your sacral chakra. So if you're like, man, all I want is butternut squash soup, or all I want is oranges or orange juice or whatever else is orange, pumpkin, you know, that is in support of your sacral chakra. I know for me yesterday, it was like, all I wanted was tomato soup, and that's okay. Like that's what my body wanted. And it was because my root chakra was like really stabilizing while everything was kind of moving, you know, upwards. I think that covers all of the, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that wants to come through with this, because there's so much info. And I'll probably end up, maybe I'll make this a series of tapping more into your cycles, because I feel like it's not talked about enough, and it's something I'm super passionate about, because I want everyone to be able to work with their energy more consistently. I feel like, you know, we've been taught to like, you know, do all these different things when we're on our period, and it's like, you just gotta listen to your body. Your intuition will literally tell you everything, but you have to slow down enough to listen to it. And to the people that go hard during their period, I'm like, how? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes when I'm on my period, I'm like, I can go for a hike. That's great. But other times I'm just like, I want to creatively, I want to be creative. That's really like where I've gotten to at a place with my period, is I want to be creative. And I want to move the energy in a healthy way rather than having to let it overrule me or let it, you know, have to take 1,200 meds to get me to where I'm going. Like it's working with the energy. And also the last thing I will say is being able to do energy work or send love to your uterus and your ovaries. Well, this will probably be the last thing. So we're just gonna do a little practice together. You're gonna put your hands together and you're just gonna rub them until they get warm. You'll probably feel in a couple seconds too. Usually it doesn't take a minute. Mine heat up pretty quick. But you'll feel like the friction and you'll feel the heat between your hands, right? So when they get warm, I like doing that just to like reset them. Once they get warm, you're gonna put them over your, it's hard to see here. You're gonna put them over your womb space, over your ovaries. If you can put them right on your skin, that's perfect. You're just gonna say thank you to your ovaries and your womb. And you're just gonna picture sending them so much love, because your hands are an extension from your heart, which is where we give love, because we are love. And yeah, just picture, if you want to picture it as a color, sometimes I picture it as the pink liquid, sparkly ooey gooiness. Sometimes I picture it as a yellow light, golden light, if you will. Or you can just simply just put your hands there with the intention. Like, the intention is really the strongest part of it, right? And then just take a couple deep breaths. I'm sending you love, ovaries and womb. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. That feels so good. You can literally do that at any point in your cycle. It doesn't have to be just when you're on your period, but just, this is how we start reconnecting with our womb. This is how we start reconnecting with our bodies and our intuition, and we stop looking for things outside of it and we go inwards. It's the whole part of inner winter, right? Is to go inwards, and what the beauty is that we cycle the way that we do as women. So anyways, I'm sending so much love to your ovaries and your womb. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to pop them in the comments, send me a message. Pretty sure my email is listed somewhere on my profile. If not, just shoot me a comment. Or find me on socials at Lynn Shelto. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all the things, share if you will. I'm really passionate about working with the sacral, and it's about damn time, guys. It's 2026. It's about damn time we don't keep running the way that we used to. So anyways, thank you for being here. I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.